When I was 23, I had just moved into my first apartment alone. It was a small studio on the third floor of an older building, but it was cozy, and I liked having my own space. The first few weeks were uneventful, aside from getting used to the strange creaks and groans of the building at night. But then, things started happening that I couldn't explain. It started with small things. My bathroom cabinet would be open when I knew I had closed it, my kitchen drawer slightly ajar, or items like my keys or wallet ending up in places I was sure I hadn't left them. At first, I chalked it up to being forgetful, maybe adjusting to living alone. But one night, I woke up to the sound of something shifting in my kitchen. I lay there frozen, listening as a chair scraped against the floor. My heart pounded, but I convinced myself it was just my imagination. Then, a few nights later, I woke up feeling strange, like I was being watched. I turned over, and in the dim glow of the streetlight through my window, I could see the outline of my closet door. It was open. I never left it open. I felt a cold sweat break out over my skin as I stared at it. I swore I could see movement inside, just the slightest shift in the darkness. I reached for my phone and turned on the flashlight, shining it into the closet. Nothing, just my clothes hanging there. But as I stood up to close it, I noticed something that made my stomach drop. My winter coat, which I hadn't worn in months, was on the floor. And worse, the back of it was pressed into the carpet, like someone had been sitting against the wall inside my closet. I barely slept after that. The next morning, I called my landlord, asking if the building had ever had break-ins. He brushed me off, saying the security was fine, and that I was probably imagining things. I tried to believe him, but that night, as I was getting ready for bed, I heard it again, the soft scrape of a chair in the kitchen. This time, I didn't hesitate. I grabbed my phone and crept toward the living room, my heart hammering. I turned on the flashlight and scanned the room. Empty. But then, just as I started to relax, I saw it. The cabinet beneath my sink was open by an inch, and as I stared, I saw something move in the darkness behind it. I couldn't breathe. Without thinking, I bolted out of my apartment and straight to my neighbor's door, banging on it until he answered. He let me in, and I called the police. When they arrived and searched my apartment, they found something I hadn't even considered: a hidden crawl space behind the cabinet under the sink. It led to an unused maintenance tunnel that ran behind several apartments. Inside, they found a blanket, a water bottle, and food wrappers. Someone had been living in my apartment while I was sleeping, hiding in my closet, slipping out when I was at work. I moved out the next day. I don't know who they were or how long they had been there, but to this day I still wake up in the middle of the night, afraid that someone is watching me from the dark.